and welcome to a very speedy run through of some distance, speed and time questions. This week we're going to focus all on distance, and I'm going to show you a few tricks just to help you level up from the easier questions to the more difficult questions. And I want us to really focus on our mathematical rigor, so that's things like showing working and showing units as well, because those will really help us in the future. So by now, I'm hoping that you've figured out that the formula for distance is speed times time. So over here, I've got an easier question where the speed is 40 miles per hour. That means every single hour I'm traveling 40 miles, and I'm going to do that for 3 hours. Now, you can probably figure out in your head that if you're going 40 miles every hour, after 1 hour, you'll have done 40 miles, 2 hours, you'll have done 80 miles, and after 3 hours, you'll have done 120 miles. But let's show this in a really mathematically rigorous way. First of all, I'm going to start with the formula. Distance equals speed times time. But as mathematicians, we're lazy, so we're just going to write d equals s times t. Then, underneath that, I'm going to show the sum that I did. So my speed was 40 times by my time, which is 3. So this is how I worked out 40 times 3, substituting in for the speed, substituting in for the time, and finally my answer, which is 120. 120 watts, 120 hours. So I need to show that. Wait a second. This is a distance. Hours is not a distance. 120 miles. There we go. And I get that from the question because it was miles per hour. So 120 miles. Okay, that's one sum done. Next one. Now my speed is 60 kilometers per hour, but my time is 90 minutes. They're trying to trip me up there because this is in hours and this is in minutes. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of an exchange. Now, you might be able to look at 90 minutes yourself and know that there's 60 minutes in an hour, 30 minutes in half an hour. So that 90 minutes is an hour and a half. So 90 mins is an hour and a half. I'm going to write that as 1.5 hours. And now my units match up. So I've got kilometers per hour and hours here. Okay, same 3 lines of working I want to show again. So I'm going to start with the formula. Distance equals speed times time. Then I'm going to do my substitution. My speed was 60. My time is going to be 1.5. And then finally, my answer. So you might want to think about how you would multiply by 1.5, but I would just half it and add it on. So half of 60 is 30, add it on, and that will give me 90. So 90. This time, looking at the units in the question, it's in kilometers. So my distance will be 90 kilometers. Okay. Finally, we're going to look at this question here. As you can see, the principles are the same for all of them. But in this question, we've got a really awkward time. So if you're doing CFE, Scottish Broad General Education, then this will push you up into level 4. Well done. You've leveled up. We need to do quite a hefty time conversion here. So how much of an hour is 12 minutes? There's a few different ways I can think of that. So I have 12 out of 60 minutes in an hour. You can simplify that down as a fraction, or you can see that as a divide. So 12 divided by 60 is going to give us 0.2, if my maths is correct. I'm not so sure now. In my head, what I did was I simplified it down. I divided both of these by 12, and I got 1 over 5, which is 0.2. Yep, you can use a calculator for these as well. So 12 minutes is 0.2 hours, and that's a good thing to remember, that if you're converting minutes to hours, divide by 60. So that's just a nice rule to have. Also, if you're converting hours into minutes, you times by 60. Right, now that everything's in hours and we've done the time conversion, principle still holds. We're going to start with the formula. Distance is equal to speed times time. My speed is 30. My time is 0.2, still going to be times. Oh, like go just off the edge. There we go. And then I can try and figure this out using a calculator or whatever method I want. I mean, 0.2 is a fifth, so I could divide by 5 and get 6. 0.2 is also 2 in the tenths column, so I could divide by 10 and times by 2. Whatever way I do it, as long as I do it correctly, I get 6. And what's my unit going to be? Miles. Okay, and that is speed, distance, time. Well, the distance part of speed, distance, time. The main things to remember for all of them are 3 lines of working, formula, substitution, answer with unit. Make sure your units match up, and if you are converting from minutes to hours, you have to divide by 60. Okay, good luck.